Hey guys, it's Jenna Hartley. Welcome to Writer Wednesdays, a weekly chat with my author friends. It's a chance to get to know some of the writers behind your favorite stories, as well as hopefully discover some new authors. This week's guest is me. Funnily enough, Sophie Sincalir challenged me to be interviewed myself, and so I have the lovely Jade, the QD Bibliophile, here to help me with that. Hey Jade.
Hi, how are you?
Great. So now you're going to take it over. I'm going to give up my control freak ways, and you're going to host the show.
Okay, so I broke down my questions for you based on the books that you currently have out, including the one that you had as a free giveaway with your newsletter. So Perspective came out first, age gap romance between an art student and her professor, Kate and Xander. So my first question for you there is, do you have a favorite artist?
Ooh, that's so hard. I think, well, actually, yeah, I would say I really like Andrew Wyeth. And a few years ago, I went to the Brandywine Valley, and there's a museum there, and just a lot of like American art. But just there's a picture, actually, of a postcard of it in my closet on a cork board, and it's like just this beautiful field with like Queen Anne's lace flowers, and I don't know, I just see it and it like makes me happy. But something about like the way they paint the walls at that museum and like how they display the artwork, it's like just really, really beautiful. So that was kind of an
really
art
cool.
and museum answer, but whatever.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. I love art that makes you feel happy, that makes you feel something. Yeah. Okay. All right. So the next
artist, I'm sorry. Also,
Yeah.
if you're in like Fort Worth, Dallas, there's the Eamon Carter. Yes.
And there's in Fort Worth, they also have there's that museum, the art museum there that has the Jackson Pollock, the
modern?
Yeah, the modern one is really cool there too.
Yeah, really
big
cool.
wings. Yeah. Okay. Xander and Kate first meet when Kate is a bit exposed, shall we say, but they notice each other's eyes first. So what is the first thing that you notice about a person?
Oh, that's hard. I would say eyes are big. I mean, Are we talking romantically, or are we talking like, I'm trying to think back.
In general. I mean, like we're both married, so it's like, like romantically it doesn't really matter anymore. But like,
I was trying to think when I met my husband, right? Like what I first saw, but I would say, like smile or just like eyes, like something about the face, obviously, because it's at eye level, but I think, really gives you insight into their personality if they're smiling,
sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's the type of smile, whether it's like open or not, right? Yeah. Okay. Really cool. Okay, so Unexpected is your next one. An age gap romance between Alexis, who owns her own real estate firm, and her younger Manny, Preston, who takes care of her daughter, Sophia, who is gluten intolerant. Okay, so my first question there is, if you could own a vacation home anywhere in the world, where would it be?
New Zealand.
New Zealand.
Yeah, it's like kind of a pipe dream joke of my husband and I that if we won the lottery, we would like have an Airbnb in New Zealand with a llama farm, but we have no idea how to care for llamas. So.
Oh my gosh, yes, llamas are so fuzzy, especially when like they smile. Like, they're so cute. I love them. That would be so awesome. Yeah. Yes, for sure. And I would totally come visit and be like, hey, I'm gonna come see your llamas.
Yeah, maybe it could be like a writer's retreat B&B.
That would be amazing. Oh my gosh, you'd have like, a waiting list for like, 2 years long. Oh, I can't even imagine. Okay, so then next one really quick is, what is your favorite gluten-free recipe, and does your daughter like to help you in the kitchen?
Yeah, so my daughter is 3.5-ish, and she loves to help. She's to the point now that it's like a little bit less stressful for me as a control freak to have her in the kitchen. And so she's really good at like, she started cracking eggs, and she likes pouring things in, and we kind of measure stuff together. So we've kind of been slowly building her skills, and she loves like rolling out cookies and playing with dough. And I would say favorite recipe, we have a lot that we've tried that we've adapted successful. We'll just like 1-for-1 flour, and it works really well.
Yeah.
And then like a few that I've developed, she hasn't. And lately I'm kind of obsessed with these gluten-free waffles I came up with. They're like every day, and then I'll put the leftovers in the freezer the next day with strawberries and stuff. But I actually put them in a cookbook that's like a bonus for newsletter subscribers. So it has like 5 fun recipes from Preston, the character.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which I think is so cool and so cute. It's such a cute idea. And they are tried and true, right? So your
Yep.
daughter likes them, which means that they're kid approved.
Yep, get approved, allergy friendly. You can make them not allergy friendly if you want.
Yeah,
If you just want to use regular flour, you can do that too. So
that's so cool. All right. Okay, so your next one is Irresistible, which came out not too long ago. Age gap romance between an interior designer and a businessman app developer, Lauren and Hunter. So my first question for you is, what is your favorite room in the
maybe my bedroom, because I feel like it's one that's like the most complete. Like it's the most decorated, right?
house?
Uh,
Most done.
yeah, it's the most done, and I work in here and I make the bed every day, and I think there's just a sense of peace, like the
Yeah,
colors and everything
yeah.
are very light, and I had
Like
some
a
health
safe
issues.
haven, sort of?
Is it what?
Like a safe haven, sort of?
I think so, yeah. It's like peaceful and relaxing. And I had some health issues and I spent a ton of time in here, and there were points that I'd be like, I need to get out of my bedroom. But honestly, it's like my bed is so cozy. There's just, happy, good feelings in the bedroom.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Okay, and then my other question, I have a whole bunch, but my other question I would pick for this book would be because there is a French element, which great. What's your favorite French food?
I do like profiteroles. Like we've made them chocolate
With cream or with ice cream?
with ice cream. So we'll make like little chocolate profiteroles with homemade
Mhm.
strawberry ice cream and then like chocolate sauce drizzled on it.
Yes.
I do like crepes, but my sister-in-law is amazing at making them, and I can never quite duplicate them like she does. I think I just don't really have the technique and the patience for how thin the batter is.
I feel like it's like pancakes too, that like the first couple are just kind of like, and then, if you get it, then it's really good.
Yeah, I think I need to work on that. And like I've been to in Philadelphia, I think it's Reading Square. They have
Uh-huh.
like these huge like circular hot plates, and they'll like
Yeah.
heat the crepe batter on, and then they use it's almost like a Zen garden. And I'm like, crepe. Like I need to Zen garden my crepes or something. So uh,
That's really cool. And they end up really, really thin and
mhm,
delicious.
mhm.
Yeah. Okay. And then you have Unpredictable, which is releasing on July 1st. And you recently released your cover, which is gorgeous.
Thank you.
I'm so excited about it. And for everybody to read it, it's an age gap romance between Juliana, who's a party planner, and Harrison, who's a former NFL player. So first question for you there is, are you into sports? And if so, which ones?
Every time watching or actually like participating.
Either?
Let's see, watching. Not so much, though. I do enjoy, like, in the summers, my husband's a big tennis fan, and so he always puts on tennis and just kinda, you have, like, the fan on and it's cool in the house and just, like, the background noise of the tennis. I don't know, it's like I think it's, like, for people in the fall with football, like, even if it's just
Yeah.
background noise, for me, it's, like,
Yeah.
summer and tennis.
Uh,
I do like playing tennis, but I don't really anymore. And I was on a rowing team in college, which is how I met my husband, and I loved that. And I
so
was
cool.
not an athlete before that, so I would say rowing for sure. I love watching the Olympics and
Yes,
gymnastics. And I'm really sad that they
me
aren't this
too.
summer, but
Oh,
hopefully
because they're
soon.
so amazing. Like watching them, like I'm just always amazed at what the human body can do. It just
Yeah,
blows the
I'm
mind.
like, that was great to me, but totally amazing.
Yeah, totally. Or like when they dive, like from up high. You're just like, oh my gosh, like you just not break all of your bones. Okay, so then the next one is, if you could transform into Juliana, party planner, for a weekend, would you rather plan a kid's birthday party, a couple's 50th anniversary party, or a wedding?
It's so hard. For a short period of time, a friend and I kind of had like a party planning business.
Stop, I didn't know that. That's so
Yeah.
cool.
So it was that, and then I started like a lifestyle blog, which was really fun. And I would like plan parties and talk about them. And Tiny Prince actually like sponsored a post and did some cool stuff with
That is amazing.
it. God, it's hard because it's like a wedding just seems so overwhelming. And I
Yes.
feel like the time period of it, I would get kind of like burnt out. A 50th anniversary, I feel like that's really special, and like my mom planned one for my grandparents, and it was like there were like gold and white balloons everywhere, and it was like really special because my nana forever, she had like this beautiful gown and everything, but her biggest like regret was that she didn't have like a 3-tiered wedding cake.
Ah.
And so my mom got her one, but it was like, the bottom layers were like styrofoam, but it looked real. And so my nana
Ah.
really got like her dream come
Oh,
through.
that's so sweet.
So I would say either the 50th or a kid's birthday party, because like the kids' parties are so fun. Like, so in Unexpected, Sophia, the little girl, has a
Mhm.
party planned by Juliana, and it's actually a mermaid birthday party, which we did a similar one for my daughter last year, though not really quite the scale because we didn't have like a live mermaid in a swimming pool.
Yes, or the crazy number of guests,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, in the book she has crazy number of guests.
Yeah, we just had like a little party, but we had a lot of fun making it mermaid, and my daughter loved it. So I would say
Aw.
probably a kids party because you get to have the most fun.
Yes, that's true. Especially when it's stuff where you like get to involve bubbles and like favors and all
Yes.
that kind of stuff. All right, very cool. Okay, so quick author related question in general. So up next, you're working on the last of the girls' stories from the 4 Harpers. And the girls have a standing brunch date on the weekends, which I think is so cool. If you could have brunch with any of your characters, who would it be and what would you order?
Oh, that is such a hard question. I'm like,
I'm asking you some toughies.
we'll say it's only 4 guests, so it's like me and 3 people. I definitely want to have Lauren there because she's like
Yes,
such a
a
badass, and
blast.
I feel like I could learn a lot from her about just like being more assertive. Not that I'm so bad at that, but just she's just so brazen. Like she just goes for it, right? And I
Yeah,
really admire
yeah,
that about her. Um, I think Sophia honestly would be a fun person to have
yeah,
at the brunch because she's 7 when the book happens, and she's just like 7 going on 17 and super sassy.
yes,
And I feel like she'd
yes,
have a lot of opinions about food that she and I could share since
yes.
she has some food allergies. And my third person would probably be maybe Preston. I really love Preston from Unexpected. He's like such a sweetheart. Although
Yeah, he is a
Xander
sweetheart.
could be fun too because he's the whole like artist thing, and so we could talk about art and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, they're Preston or Xander.
Awesome. Okay, very cool. Okay, and then maybe one general life question before we play a game. I know you play games. Let me see. What is the best thing that happened to you in the last week?
In the last week, well, let's see. My husband and I celebrated our wedding anniversary, which was super awesome. And
Congratulations.
we actually got to have alone time, which was very nice. And I think we were both kind of like frustrated because there aren't a ton of restaurants we like eating out at, and we were trying to
Yeah,
figure out like where did we want to go? Would the takeout be good? Like just a lot of circumstantial issues that were kind of bringing
yeah,
maybe down. Not that we usually do something like we usually just go out for a nice meal or whatever. And so it was kind of
yes,
like, is it going to be hella hot out? Whatever. And so
yeah.
we just did it, and we discovered this park that we had never been to, and we took our salads there and had like a picnic. And I
Aww.
always want to have picnics, and we never do them. So it's kind of like the situation actually forced us to finally do something that the only picnics we
Wanted
really
to
have
do.
are
Yeah,
if we go to like Shakespeare in the park. But this is like different.
yeah.
We went to this beautiful park that had like a fountain and all these ducks and geese, and it was just
Aww.
nice, and it ended up being like a really, really nice evening. So I think kind of setting expectations, but knowing that right now you got to go with it, right? And it's like
Yeah.
figure out a way to make the circumstances something special regardless. Like
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Especially like or in circumstances where you have like birthdays and stuff that you have, celebrate during quarantine. Those can be, tough when you're used to going out and stuff. So that's so awesome that you guys are able to make it something special, even though, there's kind of some like health restrictions and stuff going on. So it's really cool. And congratulations. That's so
thanks. Yeah.
exciting. Okay. All right, so I have two games for you because I know you normally pick a game for your guests to play. I wanted to give you a choice between the two. So I have Never Have I Ever or This or That. So you pick.
This or that. This is like,
Okay.
like truth or dare, or it's like truth or dare, and I just picked the truth because I'm like always afraid of the dare.
Okay, I don't know if it's gonna be easier or not. It might not. Okay, all right, this or that. Sweet or savory?
Can I say salty?
Yeah, that's savory. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Yep. Topo Chico or chocolate?
Oh,
And I asked this because I know you, and that's such a hard question for you.
Topo Chico.
Okay. All right. Another question because we know each other a little bit. Australia or New Zealand?
Australia. Only
Okay.
because the roads in New Zealand are like so windy that it's like it
Yeah.
makes me like car sick most of the trip. Let's go on.
um, okay. Pre-quarantine, go out or stay in?
Probably stay in, honestly.
Okay. All right. Speaking of quarantine, toilet paper roll, under or over?
Just grateful for any.
It's like a topic of contention. It's like people are like, no, 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 it's over. And they're like, it's under.
Luckily, my
Okay.
husband's always put it the same way as me, and so it's like never been.
It's good. As long as it's the same way, it's good. Okay. Another quarantine question. Netflix or Hulu?
Netflix.
Okay. All right. Now reading, billionaire romance or small town romance?
Small town billionaire.
Small town billionaire. I found a way to connect the two.
Yeah.
Okay. I still have three more. Another reading one, DNF or push through till the end?
I used to push through till the end. I'm now DNF.
Okay.
Try not to. Rare, but it's like it happens.
Yeah, because you're like short on time too. I mean, like if you're, in between writing and stuff. Okay, so now two writing ones. There's two last ones. Writing scenes chronologically or writing scenes as they come to you?
As they come to me.
I feel like most authors that I talk to are that way, where they write it as it comes and not chronologically, which surprises me. Like as a reader, like I'm not an author, so that surprises me because I feel like if I were to write, I'd probably write chronologically. But I guess that makes sense if you're, if the scene comes to you, you're not gonna like wait until you get there to write it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think I used to maybe force it more chronologically, and then it was like, I know, like the book I'm currently working on, which is Harper's book. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, I know several major plot points, and then I was like, I'm not sure how these. It's usually like the first sex scene. Honestly, I get hung up on that, and it's like until I really know the characters better, I can't write it, and so then I go back and like write it, and then I can write all the rest. So.
That totally makes sense, though. You don't want to write, something as intimate as a sex scene and not know your characters really well, So that makes sense. Okay, last one. Favorite part of writing the book, the beginning, starting a new one, or the end?
You feel like this big sense of excitement at the beginning, but it's also like overwhelming because you have all these ideas and you're like, where am I going? Do I need to know how much of where I'm going? And the end, I mean, there's something bittersweet about it, right? It's like this big sense of accomplishment. You feel like, have I done their story justice? Hopefully you feel like you have, but then it's also sad because you've spent all this time with these characters and you're saying goodbye, which is about how I'm feeling about Harrison and Juliana right now, because I'm like, doing final read-throughs, and it's like, like the ending and stuff, it's like.
But you still have them in your world, like your next book is still within the same world. So you still get to see glimpses of characters from previous books, which has been so cool. Like in this last one, seeing glimpses of like Lauren and Alexis and stuff is really cool.
Yeah.
All right. So that was it for this and that.
I think I picked a lot of this and that, but whatever.
No, that worked out great though. I know I threw in some tough ones because I knew you loved Topo Chico and I knew you loved chocolate, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna pin those up against each other and see what she goes for.
Which would you pick?
That's really tough too. I don't know. Like I feel like it depends on the day. Like some days I would want, I'm not really, I want sparkling water. I want something like bubbly, and then other days it'd be like chocolate. Hands down, I need chocolate today. So it just depends on the day, I think. today would be a chocolate day for me.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I think I could go for either, but my husband made a key lime pie for dessert tonight. So we'll see.
Amazing. Yeah, so good. Does he do the meringue?
I don't know that he's gonna do the meringue. I think he might just do whipped cream, though he is a master at pavlovas, which are a type of meringue, but not like the
That's
type
right.
that was on
Yes. Yes.
the key lime pie. So
Yes. Oh, so good. And I love the fact that your husband actually gets in the kitchen and cooks too. It's like, I love, my husband does that too. And I feel like that's so cool. Like, you know,
yeah,
having like two people in the house that cook, that's amazing. So
he does
it's
more
really
of
cool.
the desserts and sweet side. I would
Yeah.
say like he's really good at pies, homemade ice cream, cakes, whatever. And I like more of the savory cooking because I don't always want to follow the recipe.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's like precision. Today we're having this whole conversation about like the key lime pie crust. Can you roll it out? And I'm like, no, you can't roll out a graham cracker crust. You always
Yeah.
push it in the pie. And
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
but how do you get it even? And I'm like, it's roughly even. It's gonna taste fine. And he's like, but if we had two pie dishes that were about the same, I could be. And I'm like, he's the perfectionist.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense too because he has a bit of a science background, right? So, like, yeah, it makes sense that he's a little bit more, precise about his stuff. So, like, I get that. I can understand that, especially as a baker too. You got to
Yeah,
be exact about baking. Right?
that's right.
Okay, so you mentioned that in most of your videos you have a giveaway, and you were doing an awesome giveaway today. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so I'm going to give away an art copy, so an advanced review copy of Unpredictable since it releases next week. And so you can enter by following both me and Jade, the QD Bibliophile, on Instagram. And then just comment on this post, maybe tell us something, maybe tell us if you like sparkling water or chocolate, give us a high five or whatever, ask a question, and that'll enter you to win.
Awesome. Okay. Do we have enough time for me to ask you like maybe two or three more questions before we do our last couple gratefuls? Okay. Let's see. This should be an easy one. Burgers or tacos?
Tacos.
Okay. And then guilty pleasure?
I don't know, honestly. I'm like, what is a guilty pleasure? Is something you feel guilty you're doing? Like,
Yeah, that's a good point. I feel like a lot of us might say, "Oh, my guilty pleasure is like binge watching XYZ show," but a lot of us also be like, "I'm not embarrassed to talk about it." So, is it really a guilty pleasure? Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
I
Okay.
mean, I do love watching Queer Eye, but I feel like that's
Okay.
not, I don't feel guilty for it because I feel like it's
Yeah.
always like so empowering and learning and like,
Yeah, for sure. So just a pleasure.
yes, yeah, just a pleasure.
Okay. And then last one, favorite season.
Spring.
Spring. Okay, so right now. I mean, I guess that makes sense. Like the flowers are blooming. And
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
pretty. It's not too hot out. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Like I told you, I have like 50 million questions more, but I think we're probably running out of time. So I'll save them for like some other time when I have a chance to, ask you a bunch of questions. But I think I recall at the end of your videos, you always ask your guests three things they're grateful for. So what three things are you grateful for today?
Let's see. I would say my family for sure. They're always supportive and loving, whether it's, craziness going on in the world or just health issues or just writing. I would say just having a nice home where I feel like safe and loved. And, I feel like this experience with quarantine has made me really appreciate my home and my home
Yeah.
life
Yeah.
situation. And I would say my mom. I know I said my family, but I love my mom. She raised me to be a strong, independent person, and she's just one of my best friends, and I love her a lot. So
That's so awesome. Yeah, I know your parents offered you a lot of support like last minute, so it's really, really awesome. Very cool. Okay, well, I think that's it, right?
yeah. So until next week, you can enter the giveaway by following both of us and commenting on this video. Usually, I would say you can find the links to her books, but I guess you can find the links to my books in my Instagram bio. They're all on Amazon and free on Kindle Unlimited. And if you sign up for my newsletter, you can get that cookbook by Preston that we were talking about.
Yes.
And Unpredictable releases next week, and I'm excited for everyone to read it. So
Yay! And I'm so honored that you asked me to interview you, by the way. Thank you
yes,
so much for
thank you
asking.
so much,
It
Jade.
was so
What am I
fun.
doing? I'm forgetting to thank the interviewer.
No, my gosh, no. I'm just saying, like, it's so fun. Like, I feel like this is like sometimes what we do, we'll just, so I have to like make sure that I don't over talk because I'm such a talker.
Yeah, you did awesome, and a big thank you to Jade. And until next week, this is Jenna Hartley. Thank you again, Jade, and cheers
Oh
to
my
love,
gosh.
laughter, and happily ever after.